Hello and welcome to this set of slides on using coordinating conjunctions in context. In a previous set of slides we had a quick refresh on coordinating conjunctions, and these will have been taught from year 2 and will have been revisited right throughout the Key Stage 2 years. So by the time you get to year 5 and 6 you'll be secure in using a range of coordinating conjunctions to link clauses. Here's a simple example. We looked at this on a previous slide. The wind howled and the tree swayed. So we've got the subject and verb, coordinating conjunction, and then the subject and verb for the second main independent clause. So other examples we looked at: the boy cried for he was lost, they walked for hours and they climbed many hills, I do not like cream, nor do I like butter, I do not like cream, but I love butter. Do you want to go to the park or would you prefer the cinema? She desperately wanted to be picked for the team, yet she was left out. The paths were icy, so we chose a different route. So on first glance, the coordinating conjunction, to be honest, doesn't seem like the most exciting feature to use when looking to create effects in writing. So is it possible to use coordinating conjunctions for effect? Well, if we look in context here, in this passage, the main character is experiencing a nightmare, and we're going to look at how the conjunctions are used in the middle part of the text. The flight through the lanes had exhausted my body, but my mind raced onward. I dreamt that I was standing in the panelled hallway at Priory Manor, with doors leading off all around. My father was behind one of the doors, knocking and calling me to open it. I called back and reached out to open the door to him, but someone was holding my arms. I struggled frantically trying to release myself, but my arms had no strength in them. And now I am pinned down, and I can still hear my father, and I'm twisting all my body, and I'm straining towards that door, and he's calling my name, but something is holding me back. Let me go. Get off me. Jess, nobody's hurting you. My eyes opened suddenly. I lay for a moment, taking in my surroundings. I was in the small bedroom at Glebe House. Ruth was sitting on the side of the bed. You've had a nightmare. So there's that character experiencing that nightmare. You can see that the tense slips when it becomes very intense into and now I am pinned down. So we're slipping on the tense as well to try and give that sense of realism, and the increasing desperation and frustration and sense of powerlessness of the character with those repeated, but my arms had no strength, and I can hear, and I'm twisting, and I'm straining, and he's calling, but someone. So that's one example of how coordinating conjunctions can be used. And here's another one, and in this extract from the same novel, we have a character involved in a desperate race against time. They've just been in an escape room situation and have managed to find an escape route through a ventilation shaft. And in this instance, we've got some buts placed sequentially to describe the repeated failure as the character attempts to escape. Primitive fear powered me through that narrow channel alongside the snaking pipes. I heard my voice whimpering like a wounded animal. I don't know how far I inched on my stomach along that rough, imprisoning space. A couple of yards, 3, 4, maybe more. It was a desperate and blind flight. Eventually, my shoulder blades knocked against something that rattled with a metallic sound. The surface above me had changed. I pushed upwards, but the grid above me did not yield. Crying out, I pushed against it, searching desperately for release, but nothing moved. I squirmed forwards and tried again, but it would not budge. I moved forwards again, and then, oh, so easily, I pushed upwards, like a diver breaking the surface. A weight fell off my back and clanged to the floor beside me. Emerging into open air, I lay sobbing with relief. So there's an example of that sequence, that repetition of but. And so often it's just when we're trying to create effects, it's just layering and repeating the patterns of the words next to each other within sentences that will create those effects. In this case, like I say, that repeated failure and that frustration of the character. So that's a look at coordinating conjunctions in context. I hope that's been useful for you. There's other resources on the Entrance Exam Tutor website. Okay, so bye for now.